now that we know what fades are, let's check out one more option with fades called crossfades. Now, what a crossfade is basically two fades crossing, creating like an X letter. And this is a very useful feature when you, let's say, have several takes, like I have it here in this example. Here I have two takes of an strumming acoustic guitar. And let's say that I want to cut these takes and continue one take and glue the second part to the first one. Crossfades can be very useful to kind of glue this transition and to remove any pops or clicks. So if I just go, let's say I use my cut tool, if I cut this here, if I select the first part and the second part, and if I press letter X on my keyboard, if I zoom it in, let me zoom in this cut here, see, because I pressed X and I selected both parts, Cubase creates something like this. This is called a crossfade. Let's zoom in it a little bit more. So it's just a slight fade out and fade in, so that the transition between these two parts gets more smooth. I'm going to undo this, and I'm also going to undo the cut as well. And let's do some logical cut. So let me just quickly play this one. You can hear I have two different takes. And if I go to my comp tool, I can hear the second one as well. And let's say that I want to do a certain cut at the end of some phrase. Let me see. Let's say I want to do it here. This is the beginning of a new phrase. Now for this purpose, I won't use my comping tool. I will just use regular scissors here. And I will cut on the main track, so this allows me to cut all of these tracks at the same time. I will turn off the snap off, so I want to do a precise cut where the gain is lower. So let's say I want to cut it somewhere over here. See, this is kind of a nice spot where there is not a huge gain difference. I will click here, I'll do the cut, and now I did the cut for all of my takes. Let's say I don't want the first part of the second take, and I don't want the second part of this first take, so I will remove it. And now if I turn off my show lanes tool, I get this kind of one main track with this cut here. So let me hear it if there are any clicks or pops in this one. So this one kind of sounds okay. Let me play it again. Yeah, because I did find a nice place and these tracks were both in time. But let's say that this track has some troubles, that you could hear some clicks or pops. You can just simply select these two. Again, I'm just holding Control or Command on Mac and selecting these two both. Or I can just zoom out and do a selection like this. I can just drag this rectangle around both of it. Anyway, I did the selection. I will press letter X and Cubase adds this crossfade. Now, if I double click, let me zoom in a little bit more. If I double click on this crossfade, I can choose different options. Now, I usually use this line. These are different curve shapes, or maybe S, depending on what I need. But again, you can experiment with these. You can select, see, different curve shapes. This one goes a little bit more to the right. Or this type, or again, just a regular line. Now, the next thing here we should pay attention is here length. How long do you want this fade to be? Now, you can type it in, or you can do this manually. If I just zoom in, this fade, let me zoom in more, I can just click on it and I can drag it to the right or to the left to find a sweet spot where there is less noise or clicks or pops. And again, there are pre-roll and post-roll options. So, you know, the volume was the pre-roll amount before fade kicks in and after the fade. Now you can also audition crossfade. Even though you can hear a certain click or pop, that's basically a part of the sound or the track. So if it doesn't sound problematic when you play it in a track, that's probably okay. Now, if you want to remove the fade, you cannot just click on it and press delete. That would delete a track. But instead, you should go here to audio and then here, remove fades. If I click on it, this fade disappears. Okay, so this is it about fades and crossfades. It can be useful when doing multiple cuts and to remove these clicks or pops. See you in the next video.